Good afternoon from Sharjah. I'm very blessed to join EdHeroes Global Forum and to be part of this great show. My name is Dr. Ahmed Shaban. I'm educator teaching in university, and also I'm a director of strategy in Sharjah Private Education Authority. Great pleasure to be here and to share some knowledge and to learn and to know as well more about education from everyone. My topic today is reimagining the purpose of education. And today I will discuss a pressing concern shared by many parents, teachers, students, in what kind of education would be the best to prepare our children for the future. In UAE alone, we have more than 18 different curricula, from American to British to Indian to German to French to Filipinos, Pakistani, and more and more. And this question extends beyond school and touching on university choices and career path in ever-evolving job market shaped by new technologies. And you can imagine how education is evolving for the future. And accordingly, we can also say that the job market and future job market is also evolving and impacted by the emerging technology. Technological advancement, such as blockchain, AI, and now ChatGPT, and in general, generative AI are rapidly transforming the job landscape. Future careers will be vastly different from those of previous generations. To illustrate this, consider the variety of jobs that have emerged recently, requiring skills not traditionally taught in schools. This shift prompts us to rethink the very purpose of education. And I'm very happy to bring examples, real examples from life. And what you can see now is not jobs of the future. And it's not even jobs of today. These are screenshots for jobs from 2022. So you can imagine 2 years back, we were looking, or some companies were looking for metaverse strategy, NFT marketplace director, and smart contract engineers, trust wallet, and this is again NFT and blockchain, and solution engineers for games. Again, these are not jobs of the future. It's not even today's jobs. This is 2 years back jobs. Again, I met one of the companies and they were looking for crypto curriculum designer. And now the question for everyone is what kind of schools, what kind of universities, what kind of colleges are now teaching our children to be one of these jobs. And again, I believe the question now is broader and we might need to rethink the traditional purpose of education. There is a very famous insights and article written by Sir Ken Robinson, and he was trying to illustrate the current purposes of education or the traditional purposes of education. And he is categorizing this into four main areas. If I may say, number one, usually is it's a personal development where education should nurture individual talents and personalities, helping students to grow into well-rounded well-rounded individuals. Second purpose of education, it's mostly cultural understanding, and it's related to the cultures, which might be different from Japan to China to US to Egypt to even the Middle East and even Africa, where schools should teach students to appreciate their own cultures, respect languages, respect others, fostering cultural tolerance and coexistence. The third purpose of education, it's mostly about economical preparedness, where education should prepare students to be economically independent, equipping them with the skills for rapidly changing job market. Lastly, social responsibility, where students should be taught to be empathetic and effective citizen capable of contributing positively to society. Again, this is very traditional purpose of education, and the big question mark here is, should we follow or should we now follow the same purpose of education, or we should think in a different purpose of education? And again, from my point of view, today's purpose of education should be preparing students for the unknown. And when I'm talking about unknown, I'm talking here about skills that can fit and match and align with the unknown future. And for me, number one skill should be adaptability, where we cultivate the ability to navigate, thrive in a constantly evolving environment around us. So we need a student who can evolve, who can adapt with whatever new environment and challenges happening around us. And I think the very recent experience with everyone with the pandemic time, where we really adapt and we were able to change our way of life, way of work, just to match the new environment we have. Secondly, is critical thinking, where I think education should develop the skills to analyze problems, explore solutions, and innovate. And again, here it's not just following and realizing what we have, it's also how to stop and rethink and ask the right question for criticizing the knowledge and learning for our students. Third is collaboration, and I believe with living in a country like UAE with 202 nationalities, or living in different countries around the world, I believe we need to foster the teamwork and communication to leverage diverse perspectives. Lastly, continuous learning, where we need to instill a mindset of lifelong learning to stay ahead of technological changes. I believe if we come up with solutions now, we should talk about three different types of solution. Solution for educational authorities, for government, for countries, for policymakers, and education or educators, solution for educators, and lastly, solution also for parents and students. If I start with policymakers and educational authorities, I believe they must shift from traditional subject-based curricula, math, science, social studies, Arabic, English, and science, to more interdisciplinary approach, where we have more cross-curricular teaching and thinking. And I was visiting Japan last week, seeing one of the great schools in one of the villages of Japan, and I saw with my own eyes how they're teaching science and math within a project. And this project is about food waste. So you can imagine how they cross curriculum, teaching and thinking into the same different approach. This involves integrate various types of knowledge and focusing on skills that reflect real world applications. For example, how we can teach mathematics through practical problems that require analytical skills, innovation, and teamwork. I believe as well we need to focus into lifelong learning, holistic approach, interdisciplinary connections, and again, as I mentioned before, how to have education that can be related to adaptable mindset and skill-focused approach and real world relevance. If we move to adaptability and critical thinking, as I mentioned before, they are very important skills to be available now within our students. And we need to cultivate the synergy between adaptability and critical thinking, empowering students to navigate uncertainty and tackle complex and multi-faced challenges of today. Collaboration and communication, teams, our teamwork, communication, networking, again, very important skills. Talking about curiosity, and I was so happy to see some of the schools are now shifting and now evolving, and they have a principle of curiosity. And I'm very proud that in Dubai they have this now, and I saw it even in China and Korea. Self-directed growth is also important. Collaborative learning is very, very important to encourage peer-to-peer learning and the exchange of knowledge, leveraging diverse perspective to drive innovation. I'm also happy to talk about solutions for teachers, where we are here to trying to empower educators with innovative tools and strategies to enhance the learning experience. And again, here it's more about adaptability and how teachers can or should embrace and integrate technology into their classrooms? Why not to teach with tools like ChatGPT? And why not to emerge and instill this within our day-to-day activities within the classrooms? Tools like ChatGPT and the others and the other AI technologies can enhance learning, but must be used alongside activities that develop personal and cognitive skills. And I believe here the main key point and the main secret recipe is the balance between life skills, personal skills, cognitive skills, and technology, and integrating technology in the day-to-day life. Real life problem solving should be at the core of teaching methods, making subjects like history, geography, and science more entertaining, more relevant to students' lives. Do really I care about teaching, the famous leaders, the battles, and who won and when it happened, or it's most more important to reflect on today's problem and to reflect on today's life and see how we can use this as exercise for critical thinking and reflection on today's problems. Um, Solutions for parents, and here again, we should not neglect the importance of awareness and knowledge of parents. We have to empower families with strategies to future-proof their children's education and unlock their full potential. All what we do within authorities, policymakers, and educators and schools are never enough without educating parents and giving them the right solutions to empower them to support their students and children. A solution for parents, I'm here talking about parents should understand that jobs of today may not exist tomorrow. It's crucial to prepare children for future where adaptability is key, where skills is really the currency of the future. Encourage activities that build a broad skill set, such as team sports, intellectual games, focus on fields like software, mechanical engineering, science, math as gateways to specialized future-oriented careers. Broad skills with an eye on future specialization. So I think it's very important to teach them to learn about everything. Do I need a very specific engineer in a certain motor and engine, or I need a mechanical engineer who understand about science and understand about social studies and understand about today's problem, and he can reflect his knowledge into supporting the community and the real problems. Lifelong learning is also a very important skills that students should understand and be aware of, and we need to empower the next generation with mindset and skills to adapt and thrive in ever evolving world. Continuous learning and the importance of updating knowledge and skills for students. And again, this is the last part of my um, important components to introduce students, where the journey of learning should never end. Staying relevant in a fast-paced world requires continuous education through online courses, workshops, and practical experiences. And now we can see a lot of online platforms are available, offering a lot of courses even for free, just as a tool to update and to enable the continuous learning for our students. Embrace curiosity, stay informed, and keep growing is another key milestone and cornerstone in the student's journey. Lastly, we have the adaptability part where we are staying relevant in a rapidly changing world. Responsive mindset, I need mindsets who are responsive to changes. Future ready skills, again, mindsets that are developed with broad range of transferable skill from critical thinking to problem solving to digital literacy and including all the 21st century skills, and we name it sometimes durable skills. Agile learning ecosystems where schools and education institutions that foster dynamic technology-driven learning environments empower students for developing agile mindset and future readiness that can really work and navigate with unpredictable world around us. So the conclusion from here that the goal of education should be transformed and transforming students from merely reflecting our ambitions to seeing the world clearly and preparing for an uncertain future. Let's work together to ensure that work and our education system evolves to meet these challenges, helping our children thrive in a world of constant change. And I'm very happy to end my presentation and talks with a very nice quote from Sir Sidney J. Harris, where he's saying the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. So I don't need my son to look like me. I don't need my daughter to be a copy of me and her mother. I need myself to transform and to enable my son to see the world and my daughter to see the ever evolving world in a very transparent manner like Windows. Thank you, everyone. And it's a great pleasure to meet all of you. And I'm very happy to connect with all of you and to answer whatever needed questions. Thank you.